Hi everyone. My name's Yvette. I'm really happy, really excited to be here today to talk about this cool collaboration I got to do with Walrus. I just dropped this pedal. It's called the Qi Etherealizer. This is actually, it's cool. This is a prototype that we were working on. The way we worked on it was I visited them one time in person to kind of just get the initial sound dialed in. And then they sent me home with a unit, and then we did back and forth on Slack. And we finally arrived at what is here today. And you guys are so free to try it out later after the demo. So yeah, I guess I'll just talk about it a little bit, and then I'll show you some of my favorite sounds that come out of it. And yeah, I'll do some questions too. So I know it's pretty scary because there's like 16 knobs, or sorry, there's 12 knobs. But don't be intimidated. I'm actually coming from a place where I used to be super intimidated by gear, especially if there's like a lot of little switches and things like, and when we designed it, we were thinking a lot about workflow and utility and just simplicity, right? So when you get this Qi, it's actually 4 different pedals in one, and they're all arranged in a row. So you got the chorus section here, modulation. I'm a sucker for chorus. This is delay. This is my favorite part of it, which is the granular phrase sampling part. And then this is just, you got a filter, a dry wet mix knob, and a reverb, which is, I believe, a setting on the R1, but you can also go through a bunch of different types of reverbs just by like toggling it all. So yeah, it's not that scary. It's like 4 pedals, 3 knobs each. I called it the ethereal, or the Qi, because Qi means like energy, kind of like your spirit. And I wanted to create a pedal that would just be like the ultimate ambient machine, right? You sit it down, and it's something that instantly just transports you to another universe. And I come from an art background, and I know one of the hardest things, for me at least, when I'm sitting down working visually, is starting an idea, right? It's really intimidating, and to have that, to be confronted by that metaphorical white canvas, that first thing you put on that canvas is so daunting. And my idea for this is I wanted to create a section of it where we could just create like a beautiful wash of color, and then it takes away the anxiety of like, what am I gonna write? I want it to be like a vibe machine, an idea generator, a way to kind of take your guitar playing to a place that doesn't really sound like guitar necessarily anymore. I'll show you later, but some of the sounds are actually kind of like really fun and electronic sounding. So yeah, let's see. Oh, things worth to mention. One thing, so I started producing and like recording more, and it totally transformed my relationships to effects and the kinds of things that I would want out of an effect. And when we started talking about the development of this pedal, the first thing I was like is, oh my gosh, it'd be so cool to have it not only in series, but to have a parallel option, because sometimes you don't want, like, you want to do the max delay, max reverb, but you don't want to muddy up your original signal. So it's nice to be able to have a little bit of that dry signal still in there. And you can see when playing with it that comes in handy sometimes. And so when it's in parallel, basically the effects go this way, and nothing steps on the other thing. But then in series, it's like everything is blended together, and it's just like fun to experiment. Yeah. Do you guys want to hear it? I've been talking a lot. Hell yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna try to make some cool sounds on it, and I'll kind of talk through what I'm doing. I'll spend like little time on the chorus and delay and stuff, because I feel like, you know, it's nothing new. We all have chorus pedals, we all have delay pedals. I'll show you the stereo chorus first in parallel. I was really inspired by the JC120, and that was kind of like the sonic inspiration behind it. let's put some more delay in it. And I have it going parallel right now, so what you'll notice is that the delay will not step on what I'm playing, and you'll still be able to hear the clarity of that guitar with all the delay behind it. And so I'm like sustaining the delay right now, which is a really fun feature. I love having stuff where you can just like latch onto a switch and have it self-oscillate. It's really useful for transitions, and when I'm producing and stuff, I love recording it and reversing it to use for like different swells and things. It's just like so fun to play with. So I showed you the delay, I showed you the chorus. Let's make like some pretty pads with the granular stuff. So it's capturing all the notes that I just fed it, and it's just creating a granular pattern based off of it. And you could hear all the note definition, but if you're looking for like something you can play over that isn't stepping all over your doing, I love to introduce a little bit of reverb to it. Just a wash. And I love to play with them. I just put it in parallel so you can hear my guitar. So that's a pad. So I should mention something about the granular feature is that whole section, you can control the speed at which it plays the samples back at you. So I was on, I believe, double speed. So that makes everything kind of high up. Let's try something with reverse. So it's playing all these things back at you reverse. Really fun to play over. And you can blend it. If it's too dominating, you can take the mix down. So it's just very subtle. I know it's very absurd to be demonstrating an ambient granular pedal at the NAMM Show with like 60 dudes sweep picking. It's hilarious, actually. Thank you so much for like, being here. But yeah, I feel like if there's a setting to try it out, it's definitely like alone in your room, you're tired from work, you just want to like decompress and de-stress, you jam with yourself. Definitely not where someone's like blast beating 20 feet away from you. So yeah, okay. Let's go to the fun part. Sorry if I'm yelling. Let's do some phrase sampling. So the way I like to use this feature, I envision it as like an idea generator, right? So when I'm playing guitar, I sometimes don't want to sound like guitar anymore because, we all kind of get in a rut and we're like, oh man, I just keep on playing the same licks over and over again. I want something a little fresh. So when I'm at home, I love like having something take the control away from me. And I love having something that kind of generates a sequence that I can later go to my DAW, comp it, and then like build a beat out of and then play over. So this is kind of like my vision for what the phrase sampler does, and I'll try to do something. I find that it responds really well that you're just like feeding random shit into it, so I'm gonna do that. it just generated something crazy for me. I froze it. So when you freeze something, it just keeps something in the moment. So if you ever hear something and think, oh my god, I love what I just heard, slap that freeze button. It'll pause it and you can have that preserved. What I love about it is that you can move through settings. So let's hear it in reverse. You can put space in it too. Nice. So now let's hear it in random. Random is crazy because it takes what you're playing and then spits it out at you, like cycling through the different pitches. And then if you want to maybe go into like explosion stress mode. And that's it. That's all my favorite settings. Thank